For a relatively new Bonanza owner and pilot like myself, getting the opportunity to spend time with other Bonanza enthusiasts is a real treat. I was lucky enough to be able to join a group of such pilots in Bremerton, Washington for the B2Osh Northwest Formation Clinic. If you have not heard of B2Osh before, every year hundreds of Bonanzas and Barons fly in formation to EAA AirVenture in Oshkosh, Wisconsin. To qualify to fly as part of the formation, you must attend a regional training clinic and be signed off by your fellow Bonanza formation pilots. If you have never done any formation flying before, as was my case, you don't just hop in a plane and go. There's a fair amount of homework to do before you step foot on the ramp. You must review the FFI guidelines and standard procedures, the Bonanza supplement to the FFI guidelines and procedures, and the T-34 formation manual. On day one of the event, all of the clinic participants gathered at Bremerton National and made their way to the Oyster Bay Inn for the welcome banquet. For most, it was a gathering of friends they hadn't seen since the clinic last year, and for the new guys, like me, it was an introduction to a vast amount of knowledge and flying experience. Day two started with the safety briefing, followed by splitting off into flights out to the practice areas. I was one of two new guys, and for us, we joined as passengers so we could observe the process before trying it out ourselves. From a detailed briefing of the flight before departure, synchronized clocks and engine start and stop times, to run-up procedures and communications, and the actual maneuvers we would be doing in flight, all the details were discussed, documented, and then finally carried out. Now let's go flying. In formation flying, station keeping is where you keep a specific position relative to other aircraft in the formation. The sight picture you're looking for in a Beechcraft Bonanza is where the spinner is behind the wingtip, the pillars are aligned, and the aileron flap gap is aligned to the engine cowling gap. The next maneuver was welded wing turns. In this turn, the entire formation pivots together as if all of the aircraft are bolted to an invisible wing, maintaining their exact position, spacing, and alignments as they bang through the sky. Flying in trail is one of the simplest formation configurations. In this setup, each aircraft follows directly behind the one in front, like stepping stones in the sky. A formation landing is one of the most demanding maneuvers in formation flying. It's when two or more aircraft touch down on the runway side by side at the same time while maintaining their tight formation all the way from final approach to rollout. There's no room for error. Each pilot must precisely match speed, descent rate, and position while keeping perfect situational awareness. It's a powerful display of teamwork and trust, where split-second decisions and smooth coordination are everything. When done right, a formation landing is not just a landing, it's a statement of skill. Now it's my turn to give it a try. Alright, at this point he's giving me the run-up signal. I'm running my engine up to 2,000 RPMs entirely by sound without looking at any of my instruments. And after seeing the lead pilot do a big nod, when his chin hits his chest, we both let off the brakes and begin down the runway. We're not using full power like every other takeoff. takeoff roll, I'm looking at his front wheel for signs that he's ready to take off. And when he's ready to take off, I'm ready to take off. I'm not looking down the runway at all at this point, nor at any point prior. I'm just looking at the sight picture out my window at the other plane on the runway. After takeoff, I'm looking for the gear up signal from the lead pilot. I'm also thinking, in this case, we're not climbing very fast and there's a big mountain in front of us. All part of the process, just keeping the sight picture out your window and knowing that the lead pilot has got your back. The maneuver that I had the hardest time with was the cross-under. The cross-under move requires taking some power out, putting the nose down, giving a left or right rudder, depending on where you want to go, and then putting the power back in and getting to the same sight picture on the other side, and doing all of that in one smooth motion.
Crossover. Okay, that's a cross-under. Okay. So you pull the power, now you put it back in. Rudder over, stay absolutely level, put the power back in right now, all the power. Get to the 45, and now you're looking the other direction.
The next move we did was welded wing turns. I actually found these to be easier than other maneuvers because you just have to maintain the same sight picture throughout the turn.
Outside, traffic Bonanza 1000 Tango flight of 2 Bonanzas right downwind runway 2, full stop at Bremerton. Yeah.
Formation flying is, without question, some of the hardest flying I've ever done. It's not just about keeping the plane straight and level, it's doing it while another plane is just feet away from your wingtip. Every bump of turbulence, every movement of the yoke, every moment of distraction, it all matters.
But just start thinking the power in. You don't want a big correction. We're doing this gradually. Everything you do gradually, it means you don't have to uncorrect it. If you put in the correction and then you take half of it back out, you're taking out the throttle, you put it right back in. If you leave it out too long, then you got other problems. So.
You quickly learn that good formation flying isn't about making big corrections. It's about making no corrections at all. It's about holding absolute stability, anticipating the lead's every move, and trying not to get sucked.
A little sucked here, and now we're a little bit sucked, and we're really sucked. Almost, you're a little bit sucked. Now see how we're starting to get a little sucked here? Okay, now we're sucked. A little bit sucked. A little bit of power so we don't get sucked. Notice how we're sucked here? Way sucked here.
The workload is intense.
If you're not sweating, you're out of position.
Your eyes are locked on reference points, your body is tense, and your brain is running full throttle, but your hands have to be light. If you're fighting the airplane, you're doing it wrong.
Notice the wingtip and the spinner. This is the perfect Oshkosh route position right here. This is what you'll be doing for an hour.
And then there's trust. Trust in the lead, trust in your wingman, trust that everyone knows their job and is flying it to perfection. Looking back, formation flying didn't just make me a better pilot, it made me sharper, more disciplined, more aware. And I can't wait to do it again next year.